Hi there, do you know what is a letter of credit about? Today, we from Exim Bank would like to explain more about letter of credit. Letter of credit is a Sharia compliance commercial letter of credit in which we, the issuing bank, agree to pay your customer, exporter, or beneficiary in accordance with the terms and conditions of the credit. And how you can get the letter of credit? You can open a letter of credit with your bank. The bank's concerned officer assists you in completing the application to open the letter of credit. When the letter of credit is opened on the basis of your purchase contract, a copy purchase order or export contract as well as other needed documents that must be produced. So, what are fees and charges that must be paid? First is issuance commissions that charge 0.1% per month or part thereof for validity of letter of credit I, which minimum fees is 100 ringgit. Second is amendment, which consists three types. There is extension of validity date that charge 0.1 per month or part thereof for the extended period, which is the minimum fees is 100 ringgit. Next is increase in amount that charge 0.1% per month or part thereof for the incremental value that minimum fees is 100 ringgit. And the last is other amendments that have charged 50 ringgit flat. Third is cancellation that have charged 50 ringgit flat. Fourth is discrepancy fee for documents presented under our letter of credit that consists to two, which is flat per presentation that have charged 50 ringgit for ringgit Malaysia dominated letter of credit, and for foreign dominated letter of credit charge USD 50 equivalent. Fifth is handling fees for issuance and amendment of letter of credit in hard copy, such as mode of transmission in mail or courier that applicable to all types of letter of credit that have charged 100 ringgit.
How letter of credit process works. At the first step, you and your foreign buyer agree to export goods or services to a buyer for a defined fee through a contract. You request that your customers obtain a letter of credit which ensures that you will be paid for your exports. Next, for the second step, which is your foreign buyer submits an application for a letter of credit with a bank which evaluates the buyer's credit risk. The bank issues a letter of credit to the buyer if the bank approves the purchase. At the third step, your bank must review the letter of credit from the foreign buyer and forwards it to your company. For the fourth step, you export the purchased goods or service to the customer and document that you deliver the goods or service to the buyer in accordance with the contract terms. The documents are then submitted to your bank as proof that you deliver the goods or services to your customer. The fifth step, which is your bank delivers the shipping documentation to your buyer's bank and waits for the payment. Then, the sixth step is your buyer's bank gets the documentation, withdraws funds from the buyer's account, and transfers the fund to your account. Moreover, at the seventh step, your bank collects the funds from your buyer's bank and deposits them into your account. The last step for the process of letter of credit is bank verified the document and send it to the importer.
Now, I will explain the type of letter of credit. There are five main types of letter of credit that I will go through, which is irrevocable LC, standby LC, revocable LC, confirm LC, and unconfirmed LC. From these five, the bank letter of credit policy covers the bank that participate in negotiating ILC. Irrevocable LC, or known as ILC, is a guarantee from a bank that issued in the letter form. This letter will help to eliminate the concern that unknown buyer won't pay for the goods that they receive, or unknown seller that won't ship the goods that have been paid. But ILC also can't be cancelled without any permission of the party involved, so it will allow company to do business with confidence. If you want to apply for the letter of credit, you can go to the bank and you will likely work with a representative from the International Trade Department. But I would like to advise you not to try to craft a letter of credit on your own or adapt the letter of credit that somebody else used. It is because if any detail is off, you will face with an expensive legal battle. You also may be unable to claim the goods you paid for or unable to receive any payment for goods that you ship. Plus, if you write your own LC, it may seem like you save money, but it can be expensive and damage your own business. To sum up, if you want to do business with somebody in foreign country, you must trust them even if you never meet them in person. But it will leave both buyer and seller with significant concern, which is about the payment and shipping. And this LC will help them to reduce the risk by allowing the business transaction to move forward with minimal risk on both sides, which for the seller, they can rely on the strength of the bank and not the strength of the buyer. The bank will pay the seller as you prove that you have met the conditions spelled out in the agreement and trustworthiness of every potential buyer in foreign country. Meanwhile, for the buyer, it will help to ensure that something has actually been shipped. However, your bank will make payment once your seller provides a document showing that a shipment was made. To manage the risk, the buyer can require an inspection certificate to be one of required documents before payment can be made.
Do you wondering about the advantage of LC? First, the exporter can reach out a new customer at any time. By offering a letter of credit, the exporter can increase the chances of securing the order. Next, export coverage will be increasing by using LC. Two types of period when LC as a payment method. First, a payment within 90 days after the bill of lading. Second, payment within 30 days after the site. Next advantage, the exporter will enjoy discounting possibilities. Here are the process. Once the issuing bank or confirming bank determines that the letter of credit document are complying, next, the respected bank will receive the order. From that, the respected bank can discount the credit. Advantages to the importer. First, proof of the creditworthiness. Second, it will be more favorable payment terms. The exporter can discount the credit anytime after the complying presentation. Deferred payment should not a big issue for him. Most frequently used deferred payment option under the letter of credit are 30 days, 60 days, or 90 days after the bill of lading date. Lastly, the importers can determine the shipment period. If the exporter cannot ship the goods on time, he may face a late shipment discrepancy. For more and get LC product from us, just contact us with the contact below.